Hello, welcome to Beach View, our podcast with Bryce and Jen, where we talk about things, music, art, whatever's on our minds. So, welcome today. We're glad that you're still listening. Bryce, you had anything new going on?
Yeah, an update to something we talked about in one of our previous episodes. I got those bugs I was talking about.
Bugs!
Blue death feigning beetles, for those that don't remember.
Oh my gosh. Why are they called that?
Because they're blue, and they like to, feign death.
Really?
And they're beetles.
Do they look dead?
No, they just like to play dead.
What? Okay.
Yeah, that's one of their defense mechanisms. If they're threatened, they'll, flip over and pretend to be dead.
I do that too, so I can relate. So are they super cool? Like, how do you feel? Are you pumped up that you got them?
Yeah, it's neat to finally get them. They were finally available for purchase. They're seasonal, so I had to wait a bit before I got them, and now I have them.
Do they tell you their approximate age?
No, I don't know if it's even possible to tell.
Such a bummer. I would want to know, when they were born, you had to celebrate birthdays, They're your pets.
Yeah. I mean, I don't celebrate pet birthdays anyways. It's not like they care.
Pardon moi. I mean, I just say, oh, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, cat. But I'll give him, an extra treat or something. But, yeah, that's awesome. So have the cats noticed them yet?
No, but they're in a place where they probably won't.
That's good.
They like to hide a lot, too, so they'd have to be, out and about, and the cats would have to see them at the same time.
Man, okay, well, I can't wait to see them in person, which will probably be a while, but I want to see what they look like. Speaking of bugs, I had a nightmare last night, really this morning, about roaches. Because, it was raining last night, and I had a dream that my patio flooded outside and all the water was coming into the house and we didn't know it. But with the water were tons and tons and tons of roaches piled up on each other. And it just super grossed me out. So I woke up thinking about bugs. Yeah, wasn't very pleasant, but I'm glad your bugs are pleasant.
Yes. They are not roaches and will not invade your house in a flood.
Thankfully. That's good. All right. Well, I wanted to talk about something that I really enjoy and love, and that is beaches.
I had a transition for this. You know what might invade your house in a flood?
What's
the
that?
Ocean.
Oh, there you go. That was a good transition.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay. Well, since our podcast is called Beach View, I figured, let's get into beaches. We kind of mentioned them here and there, right? But
probably.
we never had a discussion on it. I like our podcast name because it's a little bit ironic because one of us does not like the beach.
That would be me. Not a fan of it.
Yet we still named our podcast Beach View, but I like it. So
it's a good name.
I want to get into this. I don't understand how you can hate the beach.
I don't know. It's just hot and there's sand everywhere, which isn't ever fun. I don't like walking in sand. I don't particularly swim a bunch, so it's just nothing particularly there for me.
What about when it's cold? Would you want to go to a cold beach?
I don't know. Isn't part of the point of the beach, we're getting into summer now, isn't part of the point that's a summer destination?
Well, for me it is. I mean, but there are lots of beaches that are colder, you have to wear sweaters and stuff on the beach,
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe that's more your speed, but you still don't like sand, so.
Yeah.
Well, have you ever been to a beach that's little pebbles or rocks and boulders?
I haven't. I've only been to sand beaches.
Oh, well, I mean, maybe you need to travel some more and maybe you'll get to the beach. Do you like the ocean?
Yeah, the ocean's neat, but, I don't know if it's, worth the price of admission. You have to go to the beach and see all that sand.
Okay, so you really don't like the sun and you don't like the sand, is what I'm getting.
Yep.
Well, I absolutely love the beach. It is my happy place. It's like I crave going to the beach. I get in moods where I'm like, ugh, I gotta, I haven't been to the beach in a while. Like, I need to go. To me, it's like stress relief. Like, it's just relaxing. Well, it also depends on who you go with. Like, if you go by yourself, or like, I'll go with Travis sometimes. It's just us. And it's just super quiet and relaxing. And I'll just read a book all day. Or if you go with like a group, it's fun, hang out. So the only thing that you don't do is bring drama to the beach, okay? The beach is for relaxing, and that's all it's for. But all the things that you hate, I love. Like, I love being in the sun. I love the sand. Unpopular opinion. A lot of people hate it. I love the ocean. I love hearing the waves. Like, to me, it's just like all around good time. And like totally, I'm in my prime, But I find it interesting that you don't like it because I just love it so much. But I guess it's like you hate the winter. I mean, you like the winter. I hate the winter. You want to visit cold places. I want to visit hot tropical places.
Yes.
So it's a little bit like that.
Yes, and a lot of beaches are hot places.
Yeah. That's why they're fun. Like, sometimes I will plan a vacation, like, let me check out the beach. And if the beach isn't good enough, I'll go someplace else. like, nope, not going to that country. My privilege is showing. Yeah, no, I just, I don't know. It's one of those things that is, I guess, like a part of my nature, Like, it's just, I gotta be on a beach at least once a year, at the very least. So I already did that this year. I went to the beach with my friend Kate, but looking forward, we have a family beach trip. It's going to be amazing and fun and beautiful.
Yeah, not my idea of a fun time.
And you're just going to stay home and probably enjoy the quiet. And we'll be on the beach, enjoying the beach.
Yes, I'll enjoy the lack of sand. It gets all over you. It's hard to get off. It's annoying to walk on.
You just have to embrace it. I will say though, like, my legs are sore like after a week of walking on the beach. It's like such a workout.
So hard to walk on.
It is, but I mean, I don't know. That's like the joy of it to me. But I don't get in the water a ton. Like, I don't go very deep. I get nervous when like our family members like go way out there. I'm like, you're gonna float away. Like, come back. So, I don't like that, but I don't know. Maybe you need some what do you call those? Like those shoes, what do you call those shoes where you like walk on the beach with?
What, like
you know what I'm talking about?
Like Crocs or something?
No, it's like those. Oh, I don't know what they're called. They're like kind of like socks, but they're shoes. You walk on them. Like water shoes, something like that.
I don't know. I don't know if I've heard of this.
Oh, well, either way, it's still hard to walk on the sand, so you probably wouldn't enjoy it. But
yeah.
Anyway, it's just, look, it's one of those joys that you're not going to be a part of, and that makes me sad. So
yes, the sun is my enemy, and I must hide away from it.
Well, at least you'll have like pretty skin forever from staying out of the sun. I'm starting to get sun damage.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. The sun's your enemy. It attacks you.
I mean, look, I use sunscreen though, but I'm starting to get little sunspots on my face. It's not good. It's damage. But it's a small price to pay to lounge in the sun. All I need is a good book, a beach, some hydration. I'm good to go. So, anyway, I'm sorry you're going to miss out on the family beach trip, but I think it's going to be fun. We'll miss you.
I think a lot of the things you talk about, though, like a good book and hydration, you can get that anywhere, really.
I could. I mean, I could get that at home right now.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have the hot sun. You know what it is? It's like the sand is like a heat rock. And you know, like Travis always says he's going to buy me a heat rock, like lizards have.
Yeah.
Because I want warmth so much.
Yeah, I think you might be a lizard.
Maybe that's why I like it.
We've had this conversation before, but yeah, you might just be a lizard.
I think I am. I'm definitely a reptile, definitely cold-blooded for sure. And you're quite possibly a vampire, so it evens out.
Yeah. What's your favorite kind of beaches?
You sound so enthusiastic, first of all.
But
well,
I
will ignore
trying
that.
to come across like that.
You're like, what's your favorite kind? Well, I will talk about it anyway because this is one of my favorite topics. So, I really, I've had the blessing of travel, and I really enjoy Mediterranean beaches. To me, are my favorite. It's something about the color of the sand, or a lot of those are like those little pebble beaches, which those are nice because while they're still hard to walk on, it's not sand, like it doesn't stick to you at all. You know, it's just like little bitty pebbles. But those are my favorite ones, especially the beaches that have like a dramatic view. Like you'll have these, you know, a little alcove of beach in between like some rock formation or like cliffs or, you know, greenery. And the water is just like such a pretty color, like the blues and the greens. To me, those are the most beautiful beaches. They're the most relaxing. Those are the ones that call to me. And one time we went to the Ionian Islands in Greece, and we went to Kefalonia and Ithaca, or Ithaki as the Greek people call it. But those are really cool because basically you had to hike to the beach, and it was, you know, not a super hard hike, but it wasn't like, you know, a real path. Like it was hiking. And you would get to this little tiny beach, and for a while, like, nobody was there, and then, like, people would come, like, on a sailboat or something, and, you know, some, like, local kids would come by. So those are my favorite, because it's not, like, a commercial beach. I mean, there's no amenities, you know, no chairs or anything. You just, like, have a towel, and what we would do is we would take food from the breakfast at the like little boutique hotel we were staying at. We would like take an apple and like cheese and a croissant or something, and we would just hike to the beach and stay there all day and just eat that food for lunch. That was like one of the best vacations. It was so relaxing. So those are my favorite kinds of beaches. So I don't guess you would agree with that.
Well, I've never been, but I guess I have.
But seeing as how you don't like the sun.
Yeah. I guess I have a more limited experience with beaches than you.
Yeah, I guess so. They have some other cool ones that are just like rocks. Like when we were in Slovenia or Croatia, it's like just these big rocks. I don't know what you call them. Boulders, I guess. And you just like lay on a boulder, and it's just like... It's basically like humans will make anything for their recreation, I think, you know?
Yeah.
So that was really fun, though. That was another little, like, hiking. You kind of get there, and it's nobody there, you know, just very few people there, and the water's just beautiful. So it's calling to me again, and I can't wait until we can travel again. I know you can go some places, but it's still very difficult, like, to go to the Mediterranean with COVID and everything. So anyway, I'm being very patient over here and hoping that obviously the pandemic ends for those who are suffering from it. But yeah, part of the joy in that will be that we can travel again.
And go to the beach.
And in the meantime, we'll stick to the Gulf Coast. So.
Yeah.
But the beach is kind of made, though, for the pandemic because you can really separate yourself, unless you're on, like, a crowded beach, obviously. Yeah. But you can really just separate yourself and be by yourself and not have people right around you, you know? Mm-hmm. So you're still enjoying nature, but, you know, it's a lot safer than other forms of travel during the pandemic, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. Just wanted to share that with you.
Yeah, well, I guess if that's all we have to say about beaches.
That's all you have to say.
Well, I don't like them, so.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's not like a active dislike, it's just like, I don't know, I don't like them. Like, it's not something I can rant about.
Well, I mean, obviously, per my example, it's something that I can.
Yes. Well.
Yeah, so, yeah. All right. Let's hear your transition now.
Oh, I don't know
You're
if
so
I
good at
have
it.
one. I don't think. I'm not sure there is one. But, I thought, given that we've talked about music a lot, and we've had 2 recent episodes about albums, I noticed during those discussions, you often would look at the lyrics more for songs than I did, and I thought that would be interesting to talk about, sort of our approaches to music and how they're different.
That's true, and that's quite astute of you because I notice also that you listen more for the actual the actual music. So you have a more technical point of view than I do, and obviously I don't know a lot about I think it's obvious to everyone now that I don't know a lot about music theory or chords or any of that kind of stuff, but I do, my love of reading, I think, translates to this, that I really connect with the lyrics of a piece and of an album, and to me, like, that's what makes a great song. So, of course, a good beat is good, but whenever I'm really listening to the album to kind of review it or critique it, I really focus on the lyrics, but that's something you're kind of like not that interested in, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't dislike lyrics. It's just, they're not focus for me. I'm really more about, like, musically. Of course, I don't use a ton of theory when I'm listening, mostly because I'm not great at hearing the stuff. Like, that's a class I had when I was doing music stuff in college. Like, part of a skill of being a musician is being able to listen to something and, like, pick out what you're hearing, like the chords and stuff, and that's really hard. And I'm out of practice for it. Not that I was ever great at it to begin with, but...
Yeah. But I think, like, you go toward the technical aspects of it, like, when we were talking about, like, Taylor Swift's song and about how it, like, transitioned from one thing to the other,
yes,
or even like when
major.
we were talking about Linkin Park and the different, I guess, I don't really know, instrumentals. Yeah, exactly. Like, I thought that was interesting because those are things I don't notice. I don't really know, you know?
Yeah.
I appreciate the lyrics more because I find that I really go towards songs that are either like kind of poetic, you know, like I like the creativity of kind of the poetry of the lyrics, or the songs that have these kind of deeper underlying meanings to the song. Like Linkin Park, I found a lot of those were, you know, kind of introspective, you know, observations that they talk about, and I don't know, I definitely go toward the lyrics all the way, all the time, which is really funny because, like, if I'm just listening to music, sometimes I don't even know what they're saying.
Yeah.
Like, if it's a good song, I actually go read the lyrics, and then I'm like, oh, I had that wrong. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, my primary engagement with music is usually, like, the instruments and, like, the sound in general, like, your instrument choices and their timbre. How does that sound and what sort of feeling is that building, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Or if they, like, this is a really cool, like, sound or something, or also, like, you know, the structure of the song. I think I mentioned that a lot when we were talking about stuff. You know, when a chorus is really hitting, something like that.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, like Linkin Park's really good at writing songs that are, you know, good to sing along to.
Yeah.
And that's something
definitely.
I like a lot.
Well, and that made me think of another point, what you just said about listening, because I really like orchestras, and to me those can be very moving, and obviously, like, those don't have lyrics, so that's kind of funny that I never thought of it that way. Oh, look, I'm learning more about myself. Self-discovery there. So, are there any songs that connect to you though lyrically?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not like I said, I don't dislike lyrics. They're just not my primary lens of looking at a song, and they're also not like. And I mentioned this in the Taylor Swift episode of the podcast that when I listen to a song, it takes a few listens for the lyrics to really sink in. So most of the impression I get from first listens are the musical bits. So that's what I'm engaging with anyways. But I do once I get to know a song, we'll engage with the lyrics.
Yeah. Well, it was funny when we were going through the Taylor Swift one because Brenna and I were all about the context. Well, she wrote this when this was happening in her life, and this is what this song means. And I mean, like you pointed out, everyone does that with Taylor Swift now. It's kind of how the media portrays her, but at the same time, I love the context of music. So that's something. And I think, like I said, that kind of goes back into my reading habit where I just enjoy understanding what's beneath the words, And so I thought that was my first introduction. You were like, I don't care about context,
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. Because me and Brenna were eating it up. And of course, half of this could be totally wrong in, how we're interpreting the context. But we still were just yeah, let's hear about it.
I mean, that is a very common way people look at pop music.
Yeah.
Especially because pop stars are, these huge, larger-than-life figures that develop certain narratives about them. And that becomes a huge part of how people like to look at their music. Is that context. It's just not that's not something that's ever done anything for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are instances where obviously the artist isn't writing the music, they're just performing it. And to me, that's when you're kind of well, there's not really context there, as far as the artist is concerned. But those artists like Taylor who write her own music, I think that's where the context really does come in.
Yeah, and there's also times where an artist is not writing about their own life, they're writing a fictional story.
Yeah.
So that definitely changes sort of your context there.
Yeah, absolutely. How we were talking about Taylor's gift is storytelling, and I think, well, for her, she writes about herself, but a lot of artists though, I think can tell great stories through their music. So to me, that's when the lyrics come in, and I don't know, I'm always drawn to that. Which is, like I said, really funny when I have a whole idea of what the lyrics are, and then I actually read the lyrics, and I was like, oh, yeah, I was way off.
Yeah. So, with regard to lyrics, I think the primary way I think about them is they, set up I guess to use a metaphor, they're the, set dressing for the stage, and then the music is the play itself, the writing, the acting. They set up the emotions, and then the music carries it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that. I like that. Yeah. Well, it's interesting you have that point of view because you don't really read into it. You don't really go farther than that, even though they're setting up the emotion for it. You know what I mean? It seems like you still focus more on the music part.
Yeah. And I think, songs are at their best generally when they're really good at carrying the emotion established by the lyrics. And I mean, you get good bits of poeticism and whatnot, good lines and stuff. And I can appreciate that too.
Oh, well, there you go. I like how music though is our common thread. I like books and movies. You're not really that into that. You're into gaming. I'm not really that into that, but we both love music. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Though we look at it from two different points of view.
Yeah.
But that's why I like when we're talking about the albums and reacting to the albums, because I like to get that different perspective that I wouldn't have thought of,
Yeah, I think that makes for a good discussions of the album.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to have to pick a really interesting album for our next one that we do.
Do you have something in mind?
Not yet, but I'm gonna think of something. Or just something like totally off the wall. Like, that would be kind of cool. I mean, honestly, both of ours that we did so far were kind of, random, I guess.
Well, they're both really popular. That's one thing they have in common.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And I bet, like, everyone who listens to them comes at it from a different point of view, which makes music discussion super interesting to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I obviously learned a lot from our music theory post, so trying to put that into practice, my newly acquired knowledge.
Well, the thing with that is you have to also be able to hear it when you're listening to stuff and pick it out, which is difficult to do.
Yeah, that's hard.
A common
For sure.
thing would be to like listen to chord progressions and sort of like what melody's going with them and like how that's conveying what the like goal of the song is. And that's really hard to do. For me, at least. Well, I guess for a lot of people if you're not trained in it, and it's something you have to practice.
Ooh. Yeah. I don't think I would excel at that at all. Negative. Not happening. But anyway, it's all fun to listen to, so
Yeah.
Fun times. Wow, do you have any other observations on this topic?
No, but this is going to be a really short episode, and this is all we do.
I know, kind of struggling today.
Do you have any songs you're like particularly like engaged with, or like less lyrically that you think like maybe you engage with on a different level than you normally would?
Well, obviously like classical music. So sometimes like when I just want to relax, like take a nice bath or something like that, or just when I want to just chill, if I'm feeling stressed, like I'll put on some classical music, and I always connect with that. Like I really like Claire de Lune or something like that. That's just kind of a beautiful instrumental piece, and like those types of songs I really enjoy, but obviously I don't know a lot about them technically, but it does make me more relaxed, and it does carry emotion with it. So I guess those I connect on in a different way, which I don't do that like terribly often, but it's still, you're connecting with the emotion. I think that's the beautiful part of music, is that you connect with it, and it's universal, and you could have somebody from across the world like connecting in the same way to a song, or connecting in a different way, but that's what makes it universal. So I don't know. What about, do you have any examples of songs you connect to lyrically?
Yeah, I'm trying to
I think I already asked that.
I like Death Cab for Cutie's work. I like a lot of their work lyrically, although some of that's structural. They have quite a few songs where they like to repeat one of the lines from earlier in the song at the end, and I really like that.
Yeah.
And I think
that's cool.
Yeah, they're generally good at lyrics. I'm trying to think of others.
I know it's hard, like, on the spot to think about it.
Yeah, if I had come prepared, I could have been
like,
oh yeah, that one song I really like, primarily lyrically.
Oh, I like that new word, primarily. It's like a shortcut, primarily lyrically. Yeah. That's hard to say.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you ever watch The OC? Oh, you don't really like shows that much.
No, I'm fine with shows, but that was also before my time.
Okay. Well, yeah, but I mean, like, it's like making a comeback. But they're, like, that show features music a lot, and they would, like, Death Cab for Cutie was, like, basically all up in that show, and I really enjoyed that. That was cool. Yeah, well, Death Cab for Cutie was like before your time too, so
yeah, but they were still like, I mean, they still put out music now. Like there's a lot of bands that I like got into because they had released a recent album when I had started listening to music really on my own. That's true. I decided to go back and listen to their back catalog.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I think you would enjoy that show.
Yeah, which is why I, listened to Linkin Park. That's before my time, but...
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. All of that stuff is before your time. She's really funny. I like how it's a different generation, so we bring like different perspectives, but we have some common things too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's awesome. I thought it was funny how John was saying that like he's reached the age where he thinks like new music is terrible.
Yeah, that's
happens. That's terrible. I don't know. It hasn't happened to me yet.
Yeah.
So, but I like to see how music evolves.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna say like, oh, I hate that. You know, like
it doesn't.
I don't mind.
It
new
doesn't
stuff.
happen to everybody, but some people do get to a point where they're like, I don't like this new stuff. I'm just gonna listen to all the old stuff I liked.
Yeah, all the oldies. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. We should get somebody much older to come on, and we could talk about like that generational difference.
Oh yeah.
With music.
Yeah, back when you had to listen to records.
When you had to, wasn't a choice. Yeah, that's funny. Do you have a record player?
Yeah, but I got into that briefly when I was in high school, but quit because it's just so cumbersome to listen to music.
Yeah?
Yeah, some people like that, but to me, I'm just like, I can't be bothered. It's so much more difficult than just pulling up an album on, like, YouTube or something.
Oh, right. Sometimes I wonder, like, oh, should I get a record player and some records? And I was like, it'd be kind of cool, you know? And then I was like, I mean, when I want music, I want it right now.
Yeah.
So I just go online. Or, like, I search for something, like, I won't have it already, you know?
Yeah, and they're better for listening, like, straight through as an album than, like, picking around, because it's not impossible to do that, but it's harder.
Yeah, I imagine that would be difficult. I never thought of it that way. So yeah, I'm definitely not going to get a record player. It would probably just sit there. Well, that's all I got to say about that.
We're still a bit, early.
We are, but that's okay. We can have a shorter one.
Alright, I mean, nothing else to say, about beaches or approaches to music?
Let me think about this. Beaches.
I wish I had more to say about, like, you know, songs I engage with really well lyrically. I guess there's been some I engage with more on a lyrical, like, level than musical. Like, I don't particularly like the music or think the music has, like, parts of it that I'm like, this could be so much better. But I like the idea, and I like the lyrics, but I don't know. I know I've had that feeling before, but I'm not bringing up any examples to mind.
I know, well, it's hard to think of, you know, like I said, on the spot. But have you ever had, like, a life event? Okay, here's an example. So, like, when we were younger, one of our friends passed away suddenly in a car accident. And there was, like, this one song that was really popular on the radio. And it was, I think it was, like, 3 Doors Down, like, Hold Me When I'm Here, Love Me When I'm Gone. And it was just, like, about, like, losing someone, you know? And to me, that has, all like, every time that song comes on, I mean, not that it comes on anymore, but anytime I've heard that song, it made me think of my friend in that time, you know? So, like, to me, songs can really relate to, like, life events, or if you're going through, like, a breakup and there's, like, you know, a breakup song, you know, that you just, like, cling to. Has that ever happened to you?
I don't really do that. I kinda sometimes, but not, like, very aggressively. That's not the right word, but, like, it's, I don't know. Like, you know, like, it's cool to get, like, music that really fits with your emotion. Like, if you're having a down day, to listen to, like, sad songs, or if you really want something that's, like, you know, get you pumped up or something, to put on something like that, but I don't really do it like that much.
I love the idea of, like, my own personal soundtrack. Like, I think I mentioned that when we were talking to Brie. Like, I like when my music just, like, reflects my mood, or what's happening at the time. Or, like you said, like, you use it as a motivator. And so, I don't know. Like, I wish I had a personal soundtrack that would, like, just change automatically as I go throughout my day. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, can you get on that and, make me a soundtrack?
I don't... I don't know, like, what... That would be
great.
really hard.
I think I just want to like film a whole day of my life and then like have you put the music to it. Maybe you could do it that way. And then I can rewatch my very mundane day. It's usually like Jen at work, Jen at home, Jen eating.
All right, well, here's a weird question to follow up on that. What's your bathroom music?
Oh, bathroom music. So, sometimes in the morning when I'm getting ready in the bathroom, I like to, it really depends on the mood, okay? Sometimes I listen to podcasts. Sometimes I'll put on like, Post Malone when I'm feeling chill, because that's like an easy listening. If I'm like trying to wake up though, I might put on some Drake, like Drake radio and like that type of music to like kind of help me wake up. So, yeah. If I'm trying to relax at night, taking a bath, like I said, I do classical or like spa music. So, what's yours?
I don't, because I've never been someone who likes to, like, listen to music in the shower, or, like, while I'm cleaning or something like that.
Oh, something's wrong with you. That's like the best time.
I just prefer that to be, like, relatively quiet.
Yeah, I can see that. Quiet
Although,
time.
like, definitely, like, if I'm doing something work-related or, like, back in school doing homework, I'd like to put on music for that.
Yeah, and see, I'm kind of the opposite because when I'm working, I do a lot of writing.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't listen to music while I'm writing, That's tough.
Well.
Yeah, there you go.
This has gotten kind of rambly, but,
Well, I mean, this week was like a really rushed week for me because I coordinated a charity golf tournament and it was successful, but it was like the whole week leading up to it, so I couldn't really prepare for anything today. So, that's what happens when you're not prepared.
Well, that's, I guess this is enough to wrap up on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a bunch of random thoughts out there, but, that's what life is all about. Random thoughts. There you go.
Yeah, alright, well, I'll take us out then. That's been our podcast. Bit more meandering than usual, but that's probably fine. Hope you enjoyed it. Tune in next time for something different.
Sure.
Bye.
Yeah, maybe we'll be more prepared. Bye.